We are viewing the user audit results section of your Desktop Manager database. You may see multiple entries for a user in this view. If the user uses more than one computer, Desktop Manager will audit each of the computers that the user uses to log into your notes environment. The main document for each user will contain the user's identity. The Hardware and Software tab will give you information about the user's computer. This information is very helpful and can be used to determine the health of your environment, whether users are on an old version of the Notes client or not, whether the machine needs to be upgraded prior to upgrading the Notes client version. All of these attributes are in this document as far as processor speed, memory amount, whether they have a desktop or a laptop, whether they have admin rights, or whether or not they're a Citrix user. It will also give you the Windows version as well as other versions of software that are installed on the machine. The Network Usage tab basically shows you information about databases that are replicated locally for the user, so you can track network bandwidth from the user to your server. Notes Client Configuration tab will tell you what version of the Notes client the user has, whether they have the designer and the admin clients. This information could be important if you're using our desktop upgrader tool to move your clients from one version to another. The Notes installation document gives you much more information about the Notes client. I'm not going to review every item, but just touch on the install paths is where the product is installed. We can gather the Notes INI, special lines from the Notes INI, the user ID, information in the cache, the desktop, NSDs that are generated on the user's workstation. Everything in the local NAB, we have a snapshot of how many connection documents, location documents, account documents, and whatnot. All the bookmarks, any policies that are assigned to the user via the Domino directory. All of the 85X user preferences and Sametime preferences, how they're currently configured on the user's desktop today. ECL information, any cross certificates in the user's personal name and address book, workspace properties, as well as all the icons that are on their desktop. Server statistics is the servers that the user uses most often. Any databases that no longer exist but still have an icon will be listed here as well. Also lists local databases, basically a snapshot of how many they have, how many databases, how many templates, what databases are replicated, what priority, when's the last time they sent and received. Database files, these are local databases that the user has on their machine. What's very informational about this particular tab is it'll tell you whether or not the database is encrypted. Whether it's encrypted or not, you can use Desktop Manager to either encrypt or decrypt the database. Any templates that are located on the user's machine will be defined here, and we gather ACL and replication information about not only the server mail file but also the local mail replica. Underneath this document are the profile documents that the user has via out of office, calendar, delegation profile, archive profiles. Any connection and location documents the user has in their personal name and address book are also audited, can be reviewed here, and can be modified here as well. Hook documents are created in your Desktop Manager database and assigned via profiles to your end users. The documents are created to prevent you. There are several methods that can be used to install Desktop Manager on your Lotus Notes clients. The files that get installed are 2 DLL files, 2 executable files, and a local start database which will hold all of the user's settings, profiles, tasks, and audit information. The install emails method is an auto-open email that you would send to your users. As soon as they open the email, the product gets installed. The installation process takes between 5 and 10 seconds. Profile documents can be created in your Desktop Manager database and assigned to users or a subset of users to enforce the configuration of the Lotus Notes client. You can assign these profiles any way you'd like, by certified. This is the Search and Export section of your Desktop Manager database. This falls under the User Audit Results section. What you can use the search functionality for is to search for any items that would fall under the audit results of your user environment. So for example, if you're looking for all users that have a local mail replica to determine whether or not they have them encrypted or not, this is the functionality that you would use to perform that search. You can either see the results in doc links or in a file that you can actually open up via Excel. You can target all users or a selection. The Modify Notes Configuration section in your Desktop Manager database allows you to create tasks. Tasks are either used for one-time fixes or scheduled fixes. So for example, if you're trying to change a setting for your users, within your Desktop Manager database you can create templates and preferences. Basically,